Hello, today I have a message called Entirely Possible. So the short version, it's safe to go in and never leave. There is something within you and everyone and everything that is invulnerable to all harm. The light is stepping forward because you are allowing it. It is entirely possible to see light in place of what you sensed before. You are not the cacophony of fleeting sense images. Okay, so it's safe to go in and never leave. In is within, and it's our meeting place, and it's where all of us are all the time. So it's not like we can be anywhere except where we actually are. But when we become aware of and remember this within place, or this reality, or this connected place, we don't have to lose that remembrance. We don't have to lose that awareness as we seem to go about our activities. So it's safe to go in and never leave. When I'm going in, I'm looking for the right word, claiming, recognizing, acknowledging my sameness with everyone and everything. And that gives me every reason not to judge, not to try to set myself apart from, not to try to avoid someone or something in my experience. If I can see within it is the same within that is within me, and it's just basically shells I'm looking at that are covering up the same thing, and that within can be in charge of everything I perceive, both in what I perceive to be the other one or the other thing, and with the one I perceive to be me, then that's a very different picture than the ego saying, you need all of my differential judgments and assessments to navigate your way through this landscape here, dreamscape really. So now we get a sense that within is a navigational system that navigates us and everything we perceive beautifully through this dreamscape. So there is that other option. There is something within you and everyone and everything that is invulnerable to all harm. So that within place is a place of safety and strength. If something's invulnerable, it's both safe and strong. And strength and safety is what all of us and everything, what we all truly share. You could say it's our one true quality, because strength is love, is innocence, it's all the same thing. So safety, that's our one true quality. And there can be much during what seems to be our daily experience of our dreamscape that can turn us away from the awareness and remembrance of shared safety, of shared strength. But the more we remember and the stronger our memory is of the shared safety and the shared strength that is the unified truth of everyone and everything, then it's very safe to just depend on that. Very simply, just depend. That's why I trust you, because I remember you to be safety. I remember you to be strength. You're not the body I see. You're not the personality I associate with the body. You're not the past I associate with the personality in the body. You're not any future I would anticipate for a personality and a body. You're none of those things. Your safety and your strength. There is something within you and everyone and everything that is invulnerable to all harm. We can be stubborn about this, about stopping and pausing when we have believed enough ego thoughts to kind of wallpaper over this memory to make that memory more important than anything the ego would want to use to cover it up. Because this memory is the light. The memory that we are strength together, with no exceptions, everyone and everything together. the memory that we are safety together, with no exceptions, everyone and everything together, ego thoughts would cover this up. And we can use our stubbornness to keep uncovering it and resting in it, next to it, in it, as it, resting with it, remembering and holding that memory. Okay. The light is stepping forward because you are allowing it. So it's an allowing thing. I can block or I can allow. And that's no one else. My blocking and my allowing is not anyone or anything else doing anything to a separate thing I call me. I block or I allow. And it's very simple. The light is stepping forward because you are allowing it. Actually, the light's always here. But am I shutting my eyes to it, or am I willing to be aware of it? This light is within everyone and everything, with never any exceptions. It can always extend from, with, and as everyone and everything. This really gets down to the foundation, where we really and truly stop bullshitting ourselves about anything our ego has said about anyone or anything. We recognize it as a fabrication now, as a small s self serving fabrication. It's all a fabrication, and it's all to support the apparent reality of the selves, of the perception of the selves who are separate and disconnected and could act in opposition to each other. All of that so we'll buy that story, which can never be true. It's pointless to attempt to believe a story that can never be true, so we can just quit trying to believe it and recognize and remember the light is unified, the light is one, the light is everyone and everything. And I can allow the light or I can block the light, and my feeling tells me what I'm doing. So if I need to reverse course and reorient, I know right away because my feeling tells me. And if my emotion doesn't get through to me, I'm not listening, I might feel a physical discomfort, and that'll tell me. So I've got two, like an alarm system and a backup alarm system that tells me very simply, it's not panicky, it's just like, you need to reorient. And everyone can reorient. We're all fully capable of reorienting. Okay, it is entirely possible to see light in place of what you sensed before. So we have our senses, and the ego would collect and analyze our sensory data. In place of this, we can allow the light to shine and put the light in charge, of whatever thoughts we receive, and understanding that the thoughts we receive determine our perception of the actions of the one we call ourselves, the speech of the one we call ourselves, the action of the ones we call other, the conditions of the things we call other, the speech of the ones we call other. Our thoughts cause our perceptions. And so we can just receive these thoughts from the proper source, and our perceptions will follow from that. It really is that simple. The ego would say a lot of things about impossibilities here, but it is entirely possible. It's not partially possible. It is entirely possible to see light in place of what you sensed before. So we don't have to be afraid of what we sensed. It's just a mistake. If you sense something with one of your senses and you don't feel good, it's a mistake that the light can put right. And because you are the light, and the light is always where you are, and the light is always here, and it can't go away, we can close our eyes to it, we can throw stuff over it, we can try to hide it, we can try to ignore it, but it's always here. Then the correction for our misperception, for our mistake, is always right here. And all we need to do is call on the correction. Just call on the correction. If there's emotional discomfort, if there's physical discomfort, that is the alarm that reminds us to very simply not take responsibility for trying to fix something, but just call for the correction. The correction fixes. Our job is to call for the correction, to understand that the correction is what we need, and to find our willingness to accept it. You are not the cacophony of fleeting sense images. So we experience many fleeting sense images, sense impulses, and it's a cacophony. It's chaotic. That's not me. That's not you. That's what we asked to experience. And as we experience what we asked to experience, what we could not experience, I just hit the microphone, sorry. What we could not experience without our asking for it, that's when we call on the light to come in and correct everything. I understand. I asked to experience cacophony. Check. Done. Did it. And now I am the light. Here is the light. I am in the light. The light is in me. The light's in everyone and everything I see. However you have to tell yourself, however many times you have to tell yourself about how here and present the light is, even if you're ignoring it, the light's here to correct. The light's here to correct the cacophony, to help it all settle down, to bring in the memory and the awareness and the gratitude for divine order. So you are not the cacophony of fleeting sense images, and neither is anyone or anything you would call else. So we can look out there and see something and begin to judge it as a disorder, as a cacophony, as an element of chaos, as something we wouldn't want. And we have an opportunity to understand the light is here too. I don't have to project the cacophony outward. It's really hitting home because I'm trying to help my daughters get their room clean in preparation for a sleepover. So my projecting the cacophony outward. Yeah, I'm experiencing that right now and seeing the opportunity I have right now. You are not the cacophony of fleeting sense images. We are together, we're the divine order. And even if something seems to be disordered, every element of a something within that seeming disorder is order. And order can extend with it, as it, through it, whatever word comes to mind from it. The light is the truth. The stability is the truth. The divine order is the truth. And when we slow down and focus, we can reorient. And reorienting away from what is unreal toward what is real is the most powerful thing and all of us can do. And as we stop to do that, we share that strength and innocence and grace and truth and light with everyone and everything. And we step into our willingness to allow that to become obvious as we move through our dreamscape. So wishing you happy healing as you do that, as you remember and become aware, and I will be doing the same thing over here. Thank you for listening.